Successfully Married with Pete and Mel. Hi guys, so I'm Pete.
And I'm Mel,
and we are Successfully Married. Hi there guys, hope everyone is doing very good. This is part 2 of what men are looking for in a potential wife. So we covered the first 5 points in our first video. We're now moving on to the remaining 5 points. Okay, so we're now up to our 6th point. So the 6th point that we're going to say, the 6th thing, obviously this is no particular order, but the 6th thing that men are looking for in a potential wife is a peaceful woman. A woman certainly who has a peaceful countenance and definitely peaceful. So that carries herself in a peaceful way. Because what I mean by that is, for instance, we're thinking about the idea of a man. So a man could be, going out to work, could be, working on business and could have issues at work, could have issues on business, issues in different aspects, could have issues in health. So he's fighting all these battles on the outside the home. When the man comes home, he wants to have peace. He doesn't want to be quarreling and arguing and fighting. He doesn't want to be doing that. A man just wants peace. A man, he wants peace. He don't want mayhem and madness in the home. When he comes home, it's like his safe spot. It's like, I've fought the battles out there. Now it's time to come home and just relax. So a man wants peace. He doesn't want to be having to keep on fighting there. That's definitely what I say. So a peaceful woman is what I would consider to be the 6th point that a man would be looking for. What do you say about that, honey?
Yeah, definitely peace. We all want peace.
Definitely.
Peace, that seems like that would be a valid point. But yeah, I think the thing to remember as a woman is that sometimes we think that we're peaceful, but obviously women are known to be more emotional. And sometimes our emotions, for various reasons, can be up and down, and that could cause, that's even without children, that's just the woman. So that could make the home, but not as peaceful, but it is trying to just remain, I suppose, open, communicate, and hopefully the husband can talk to the wife and the wife can talk to the husband and figure out, okay, if it's not peaceful, what's going on. But if you're not yet married and you're just looking at somebody and thinking, oh, they seem a bit up and down, it could be something that they don't necessarily have control over. But
or not aware
of, but you'd probably have to get to know the person to figure out whether or not it is something that is a personality trait or something else.
Yeah, that's true. Because also, I'm also aware that men can come across, we may not come across, or certainly come across peaceful. Sometimes we can come across strong and boom, and not obviously. We can come across quite strong,
direct,
or men can come across quite strong. So men might not come across peaceful sometimes. I'm definitely aware of that. And obviously, peace is it's good for a man to be peaceful as well. Peace is a wonderful sort of characteristic.
Yes.
Basically, but I'm aware that men may not always come across peaceful. I'm also aware of that. But definitely, as I say, a peaceful woman, and indeed a peaceful man would be great. But definitely, as we focus on a woman at this moment, a peaceful woman will be a great thing that men will be looking for in a potential wife. And so, with that being said, the 7th thing that I've got here that a man will be looking for in a potential wife is a woman that's confident in themselves. A woman that has a good element of self-worth. A woman who believes in herself, has a realistic view, a healthy and realistic view of herself, which is good. So let me say, like, a healthy perspective of herself. So a woman who doesn't believe that she's some rubbish or trash, or doesn't have a negative view of herself, but a woman who believes, self-confidence. She's confident in herself. She has a healthy perspective of herself, healthy, realistic, but healthy and good perspective also. Because confidence is definitely, I've known it to be it's a attractive quality. So it's definitely having elements of confidence in oneself is definitely, I think, it's a good quality that a man will be looking for in a potential wife. What do you reckon? What do you reckon about that?
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think, when I was younger, I don't think I had a lot of self-confidence because of society. And as a female, I think your confidence, you can link to how you look. And that's, again, like I said, based on based on the social messages that you're getting.
Like adverts and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and so that can affect how confident you feel. But I think as I grew up, I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to be who I am. This was obviously before I met you, babe. But just be confident in who I am, like whoever that's me, and you learning to love yourself, I think. So that's a message to all you ladies out there, whatever shape, size, colour, creed you are, love yourself.
Definitely.
If you love yourself, then it'll make it easier for somebody else to love you.
Yeah, no, this is love thy neighbour as you love yourself.
Yeah,
exactly. You got to have a healthy love.
Yes,
for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely would agree on that. On that note, okay. And so the eighth thing, as I said, it's no particular order, but the eighth thing, that I've got written down for in terms of 10 things that men are looking for in a potential wife, is definitely a humble woman. So even though I've said confident, also a humble woman, because you know what, there's no point being full. There's no point in somebody being full of themselves. You know what? Oh, I'm just too good for anybody. Or look at me, I'm amazing. Don't
overconfident.
Don't have unrealistic view of yourself. So maintain humility. Humility is a very, very good trait. So yeah, be confident. Confidence is good.
Yeah.
But also don't be proud. I would say definitely don't be proud. Don't be, oh, I'm too good for this. I'm too good for this. I'm too good for this. Oh, look at me. I'm amazing. The best ever. I'm the best thing since sliced bread. No, it's definitely good to be humble. So to be humble, just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe if you look good, it's all good. But what I'm saying is still be humble. Don't think, oh my God, I'm too good for this. I'm too good for the world. Because if somebody acts like that, God may send you, put a good man in your path, a decent good man in your path, and if suppose you can't, I'm too good for this, I'm too good for that, too good for that, you may miss that blessing, and then you may look at somebody else and mess up with the wrong type of person, and then leave and end up with nothing. So I'm just saying, what I'm saying is be humble, be open. You never know what good God may send your path, and basically, Mr. Right may not come dressed exactly how you think he's going to come. He may not come and tick every single box that you think he should be. That you think he should may tick some of the boxes or several of the boxes.
True.
But are you open enough and humble enough to give it time and see? I'm definitely not saying lower your standards, but I'm saying be humble and be open. Be open and see. Be humble. Don't be too full of yourself. Don't be too full of yourself. That's certainly what I would say. Well, what do you reckon?
I agree. I've heard stories on the grapevine, as they say, of women who, obviously looked down then, I suppose is the right way to say, on men who didn't fit what they wanted or expected. And sometimes that it didn't work out for them. Like, they're still unmarried now, well up in age now. I've heard that they've regretted sometimes not accepting. Some of them actually, they wanted to marry them, but they just didn't think they were good enough for them. I think that's the best term. And again, like Peter said, it's not for you to lower your standards, but we believe that God has a part to play in who you marry. And so sometimes, like you said, if it doesn't come in the package that you expect, because I am going to be honest, I had an idea of what I wanted in terms of looks and everything like that, and it obviously was different to Peter.
Did you get better than you bargained for?
Yes, obviously I got more than I bargained for.
Bless you.
But it's just that you do have in your head.
I'm saying that humbly. I'm only playing.
But it's not a negative. It's just that sometimes you conjure up even an imaginary figure in your head, and then there's a real person that's standing, and because it doesn't match up sometimes to what you've imagined in your own head, then you can turn away something. that could be potentially your husband. So I think you need to be aware. Like, don't be too. As the point was, be humble.
Yeah, be humble. Yeah, just Yeah, that's what I say. Be humble, because you never know. I'm not going to go into the personal, but the best thing to do is just to be be open.
Yes.
Be open. Be open because you just don't know what God is going to bring up. You may think something, and God may say, you know what? No, that's not. I've closed that door. That's not what I want. This is the thing I want. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to be open.
But can I just add that God will bring not just the person that you want, but the person that you need.
Yeah, the best. He'll bring the best.
And he'll bring the best.
Pray for the best. He'll bring the best.
Exactly.
And as we're praying Christian and stuff like that, so we definitely believe, because we pray and stuff like that, we definitely believe that God brings the best person for us.
That's best fit for you.
That's what we definitely believe, It's because we pray and stuff, we believe that God hears, and then, he answers that by bringing the best. If that's in line with his will for us to, he'll bring the best. If he wants us to follow the path of marriage, he'll bring the best for us. It's definitely what we believe.
Yes.
Okay, and so the ninth thing, in terms of what men are looking for in a potential wife, so I'm saying they're looking for somebody with common interests. So like a woman who's got common interests that are similar to themselves. So, they're going to have something in common. Okay, obviously, that's definitely a normal thing. So, for instance, so basically, obviously for ourselves, on a personal note, we were both Christians. So we were both, we both went to the same church. We were both serving God. So we had, a common issue in that respect where we wanted to serve. We wanted to obey God and please God basically, and we follow a set of beliefs.
Yes.
That we believe and stuff like that. So that's one of the interests. One of the things that we had in common.
Yes.
Should I say? Another thing that we had in common was that obviously we're from like a similar background, culturally. So basically, so we're both born here, but our parents are from the Caribbean or very closely linked to the Caribbean, basically. So we've got like similar understandings of life and stuff like that. So that's just some of the things that we had in common. Any other things you could think of?
Well, we had similar values, so we wanted to have a family.
Yes, that's right. That's very true.
Yeah, and we wanted to work together, as in building a home. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, so some of the things that you to be aware of, like if there is a man that's interested or is considered like a woman as their potential wife, one thing you may ask yourself is, are both of you interested in having a family? Are you both interested in doing so? Because if one is interested and one isn't interested, are you the right fit? Is that going to be a good fit for the two of you? And also, if you do both want a family, suppose one wants to have, for instance, one child, and almost to have 5 children. Is there an area of compromise? Like, can you say, right, okay, you want to have 1, I want to have 5. You know what? We can work. I can settle for 2 or 3. So, is there an element of compromise, or is it that that person wants 1 and that person wants 5? So you got to think: do you want the same amount of children? And these are certainly good things to sort of discuss before you go ahead and get married. Definitely to discuss this side of before you get married, pre-marriage, before you start getting married. So no, I only want this amount of kids. You want this? It's definitely a good idea to sort of discuss, that sort of thing. In terms of whether you want a family and how many children you want to have and stuff like that. You may have even financial goals. Have you got similar financial goals in terms of maybe the area that you want to live, in terms of the amount of money you want to be making, in terms of business ideas or different types of things? Have you sort of discussed that? These are certain things to discuss. And so man may be looking and thinking, have you got similar financial goals to where he sees himself? Or have you got similar financial goals in terms of, can you work with him, or can you guys work together in terms of your financial goals that you have? And any other things that you think are some of the common interests?
Yeah, I wanted to add with the kids ones, that if you have kids already before you get married, and some people they've had a child and they do want another child, but the other person might have children and be like, well, they've got their children, they don't want any more. So that is also something to, especially if there's stepchildren involved, to take on board. I'm just thinking, just in terms of also fun things. I know we think about the serious things, But sometimes the fun things obviously get overlooked. So what do you both like to do for downtime? So I think Pete used an example of like the man might want to go football. I know that could be stereotype, but that's just one. And the girl likes to go shopping. But I'm saying, what can you do? Yeah. But you know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is they're stereotypes. But is there anything that you can do together? Do you like to go to the movies? Do you like going out for dinner? Most people like to eat. You know, things that you like in common. Do you like the same type of food? Do you like
Do you like going to restaurants?
Exactly. So
stuff like
those sort of things I think are important to think about as well.
Yeah, that's a valid point. And then touching on that football note, for instance, in regards to men, because there are quite a lot of men, you know, obviously in the UK that do like football. Obviously not everybody, but you know, quite a lot do like football. So suppose a man is glued to the football set and he's going to be glued to it when England are playing, or when his club are playing on a Sunday or a Saturday, or suppose he's an avid fan and he's going to all the games. Does that work for you as a woman or as a lady? Does that work for you? Can you is that all right for you, or is that, oh my god, I hate football, get it off the screen now, put it down, or else I'm not? So you got to think about that, you know. Can you cope with that?
I love football, so it's
fun. Well, that's good. I mean, with me in football, I like football.
Yeah.
But
but it's just an example.
Busy these days, but I do like it. I do like it from time to time. But you got to think about that. You know, if a man really likes football and loves it and is an avid fan, you know, he's been supporting this team from birth, and well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, for his life. Yeah.
And he goes to every single game. Does that work for you? Or can you cope with that, or is that a deal breaker?
Yeah.
If you see what I'm saying.
That's one example.
Yeah. So there's football. Another thing that's interesting to sort of note in this sort of day and age is, in terms of man, in terms of work, because there are men that sort of have odd jobs, and their jobs require them to study, require them to travel. So some men may have a job and they might have to do business travel. They might have to travel, you know, to one country or to another country, and then they may be away from home for a week, or away from home regularly, for instance. And suppose they're even a pilot. I don't know how that works, but I know if you're a pilot, or if you work, you know, in areas of
tourist industry.
If you work in the tourist industry, you may be away from home, or if you work as a businessman and are doing international business, you may be away from home, you know, from time to time. So does that work for you as a lady? Is that going to be okay for you, if you see what I'm saying? So men might be thinking, you know what, I travel abroad a lot, so I need a woman who's going to be comfortable with that, who's going to be able to sort of and be all right with that, if you see what I'm saying, because that could be, you know, that might be difficult for somebody. A lady might say, you know what, I don't want that. I want a man to be that comes home, you know, every day. I want to see the man every day. So these are also things to sort of just be aware of. Things that definitely to.
Yes.
Any other thing you can think of in terms of common interests, or have we just about covered it to an extent?
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't cover everything, but
no, we can't cover everything, and obviously there's always exceptions to the rules. But generally it's just having some things enough in common. Obviously the differences matter, because that keeps things interesting, but the commonality also matters, because that's the things that sort of help keep you together, you know what I mean? And you know, you're going in the same direction, because if one's going left and the other one's going right, it's very hard to maintain a relationship or even a marriage if you're pulling in two different directions. So on the things that are what we'd say deal breakers is the modern term, you want to make sure that they are in alignment. Otherwise, it's not going to be easy, or it's not going to work.
yeah, definitely. And I as I say, because if you're sort of wanting to be together, or if, for instance, a man wants to be with a lady, and vice versa, you know, it's good to sort of if you're walking together, if you're going to be together, you're going to have to agree. You have to be some form of agreement on the main point. You have to agree. So you're the two. On the big things. It's difficult for two to walk together unless there's agreement.
Exactly.
Basically, you know. True. So that's another point to bear in mind, basically. But yeah, that's pretty good. All right. So the final point. So point number 10 out of our certainly not exhaustive, but our sort of list that we've created, and certainly believe that are key points. So the final point basically is, in terms of what a man is looking for a potential wife, is a partner in the partnership. So I definitely said that a man is looking for a partner, and as a partner, we've heard that term obviously used quite loosely these days. My partner, my partner, but in terms of a partner and a partnership, my version of a partner is there's a give and take. There's a give and take. So, you know, both are working towards different areas in the partnership. Both are working together. There are two people are working together. In a partnership, it's not one person's pulling their weight and doing everything, and the other person's like just was watching on and
going along for the ride.
Yeah, it's a give and take.
Yeah.
It's a give and take. It's not just a take. It's not just someone saying, you know what, I'm taking everything. Everything they give me is mine. I'm just taking everything. Blah blah blah. But in a partnership, it's a give and take. And the reason I say this is because I have heard some females, obviously others, not all, but I've heard some females say, you know what, my man's got to be doing this, my man's got to be driving this car, my man's got to be making hundreds of thousands of pounds, my man's got to be taking my holiday here, there and everywhere, my man's got to be doing this, he's got to be doing that, he's got to be doing this, he's got to be doing that, my man. But that's good, and I'm certainly not saying to anybody to lower your high standards or anything. I'm not saying that. You may have high standards, and that's good. That's up to yourself. But what I'm trying to say is that, is it just the man that's got to be doing everything? What are you bringing to the table? Because if someone has got all these standards, they want this and they want that, that's good. But I'm hoping you're going to have to bring something very, very, very good to the table with those standards that you have. Basically.
Other than sex.
That's exactly because that's right. Because if it's just my man's got to be doing this, mama's got to be doing that, man's got to be doing this, he's got to be doing, he's got to be providing for me, he's got to take me on holiday here, he's got to take my holiday. What are you doing? I'm just having sex. That's all I'm gonna do. Then you've got to be bringing more. You've got to be bringing more to the table. You know what I mean? So there's different options, stuff like that. It's determined by the relationship that you have, whether you're a lady that's also helping out financially, and you're going out to work and you're helping out, and you're adding financially that in that aspect. It could be that you're at home and looking after the children, you're at home, sorting out things at home, and are you adding that way? But definitely, if someone sort of saying, "Oh, my man's got to be doing this, my man's got to be doing that, my man's got to be doing this," as I've heard some women say, I would definitely be good, or definitely be great for you to be definitely bringing something constructive and strong also to the relationship, other than just sex. It's got to be more. Got to be bringing more to the table, I would say.
Yes.
Go on.
I agree?
What's your take?
I agree?
What's your take?
Yes, well, of course I agree. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I do believe that, but I think that makes for a richer relationship.
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
a nice partnership.
It's a nice partnership, and you can have fun together. And as long as I know that there's the traditional way of the woman staying at home and looking after the kids and the man going out to work, and obviously we're aware that there are other dynamics at play, but whatever works for you and your family, as long as you're working together,
it's got to be a partnership. It can't just be one person doing everything and just being dragged along, and the other person just saying, hey, look at me, my looks are enough. No, it's got to be more. It's got to be more. I would definitely agree. And so those are the sort of main 10 points. I'm sure there are more. Our list is certainly not just that. I'm sure there's loads of things. I mean, there's loads of things that there could be. And just as a side note, other than these 10 things, now, obviously because we're sort of spiritual people, we're sort of Christians, and we believe we pray and stuff like that. So we believe that sometimes, God can speak to you, and God can show you, who your wife is, or even if you're a lady, God can show you who your husband is. And that, they may not have all these things that we listed down, but but there could be areas that they can improve on and stuff like that. And God could show you and say, look, this is your wife, or this is your husband, or whatever. And then you could sort of work with them and just believe for the best and stuff like that, and hope for the best and stuff like that. So we definitely believe that is indeed a possibility.
Yeah, that's true. But also, we wanted to hear from you guys.
That's right.
If there is anything you think that we have left out that you think is a big one, please leave it in the comments.
Missed anything?
Yeah,
have
we missed anything?
Do you reckon we missed anything?
Let us know.
What's your ideas, guys?
Exactly.
Of what should
what's your 10
for the men out there? What's your 10? And
different 10?
What have we missed? Or what do you think we've missed?
Exactly.
What's compulsory? That for you. That's not on our list.
Yeah,
for the men. For the men out there.
Yeah.
And also for the women, what do you think we may have missed in what do you think?
From your perspective.
Men or women, what do you agree with? What do you disagree with? We love to
Yeah.
We love to hear, you know, what you've got to say, basically. So feel free to comment, feel free to write to us in the chat and let us know. We'd definitely love to hear what you've got to say based on that.
Yes.
All right,
but thank you.
It's been great. But we've loved to share this with you. It's you know, whether you agree on some of the points or not. Hope it's been some good food for thought for you all out there. Hope it's been some great and some nice and some valuable food for thought for you all. All right, it's certainly been a pleasure sort of discussing this all with you. It's been a pleasure, you know, talking and sharing with you, and thank you for spending your time.
Yeah, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.
We'll see you guys. See you in the next video, guys. You take care of yourselves.
Okay, bye.
All right, then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.